let's build a Flask app and deploy it to Minikube with Terraform. First step is to start Minikube. Of course, you will need to install it. To install Minikube, you will also need kubectl. You will also need Docker, and for this setup, you will also need Terraform installed. I will have them listed in the description, so you can find them more easy. Okay, after this is started, let's create the folder where we will deploy the application and the entire setup. So Flask Minikube TF, short from Terraform, and open it in Visual Studio Code. Right now I want to create the structure for a project app. Here we have the app related stuff and Terraform. Inside the app folder, we will create the app.py where we will have the Flask application. I want to have something very simple just to get this setup going. So I will have just a return statement, hello from Flask on K8s. And then we will also need to have a health endpoint. The health endpoint is used for Kubernetes probe, so it knows the application is healthy. And that's it. Now we have to create the requirements so we can install them with Docker. That's all with the application. Now we can move on to the Docker file. We have to choose a base image. We are developing using Python. I will pick 3.12 slim version, 5 high vulnerabilities. I'm not sure how many versions of Python there are. Lucky 13. Nice. And define the working directory. This will be just app. Now we copy the requirements into the working directory and we have to install them now. Do the same thing for the entire application folder. Actually, think like this. Define some Flask required environment variables and expose the port that we want to work with, 5000, and the starting command. This will be Python, then Flask run on port 5000. Alright, that's the Docker file. Now what we can do is to build this Docker image. So Docker build tag hello Flask and also a version. Actually, if something goes wrong, I don't want to retype everything, so maybe I will create a script where I can copy all these commands. I will name it run.ps1. So this is our first command. VS Code, I got it. Of course, classic mistake. It was lucky indeed. I forgot a hyphen. Okay, correct this command, copy it again, clear this mess, and try again. Now it's building. Alright, we have the image built. Now we can load it to Minikube. Actually, let's do it right here. Minikube image load hello Flask 1. Okay, so this is the image name. This is the tag that I've chosen for it. I think it worked. We will see if it worked later. Now we can move on to the Terraform configuration. First, we can define the variables that we are going to use. So first one is image name, and we will give the default value hello Flask, and then another variable block image tag. Default is 100. Okay. Now let's move on to the main Terraform configuration. Actually, before that, we have to define the providers. So what required providers do we have? This one, and the required Terraform version. This should work. This should be the default configuration path. I hope I didn't change anything. And the context is Minikube, because we do not deploy to any clouds, everything is local. Alright, now we can move on to the main thing. This is to pick the image for the container that will run in our cluster. And a very important step here in the container is to set this to never, because we have the image locally. We do not have to pull this image from a Docker Hub registry. Port, we defined it as 5000. Now for the probes, we should do a get method on the health on port 5000. We can add an initial delay for the container to initialize. I think here we can just copy the entire thing, but a smaller delay, because we do not want to wait that long for it to be ready. And how many resources to allocate. Alright, looks good to me. Now we will need another resource. It's service. This port is the port of our service, not from the Python application. Node port. Now if everything is set up correctly, we can just go into the Terraform folder. Terraform init to download the providers and initialize the setup. And Terraform apply auto proof. Afterwards, to delete this setup, you can use Terraform destroy auto proof and Minikube stop. I will comment this because I do not want to delete it yet. And that should be it. Let's see if it works. So Terraform init. Right, we need this to be a little bit bigger now, and actually let's run a plan. No, I feel crazy today. Let's just apply. Right, looks good. Oh, and how do we know that it worked? Well, we have to use this command. Alright, at this point I think something is not working because we waited too long, so I'll show you a little trick. Okay, as you see, we have an error. I think I mistyped something. In this case, break this. Let's do a Terraform destroy, just because I want everything to be fresh again. And now we have to fix the error. It was a typo right here. Now, the sad part is that I have to rebuild the Docker image and add it to Minikube again. So let's just do that. Load it to Minikube again. Let's go into the Terraform directory and init this. This is the deployment, and we also have the service. Seems good. Deployment already exists. Now we can try again. I deleted the deployment. So we have this error here, and there is a typo inside the Python file. What we can do right now to do a Terraform destroy. Let's see, it's trying to destroy the service. Okay, this is not enough. XTL get deployments. We also have to delete the deployment itself. Delete deployment. Okay, I deleted it. Fix the typo. Let's delete what Terraform generated because we want to do everything from scratch again. Okay, and let's bump the version. I think also here. Yeah, that should be it. Go back here. Let's build a new Docker image. Load it to Minikube. Go to Terraform. Initialize it again. And now let's check. Okay, as you see, we have another error now. It's the health. Alright, third time is the charm. We have to do this annoying version bumping, and let's repeat the process. And it worked. Nice. Right, as I said, to test this, we need to get an URL, and this is doing a port forwarding. From this service right here that we defined, so the node port, and it generated this. So if I click this link and copy it and paste it inside the browser, now I should see inside our node. There you go, we have finished this setup.